Good afternoon. As this is not a special weekly government press conference, but today we did at the Brookfield Hotel, where this going to be a special government press briefing.
Possible. So it's possible. People can see. I don't see this. I use this. Let me see. Why does it possible? No.
All right. As we are about to start, I also want to advise. If you get your cell phone, please use the silence option, or you turn it off. We like for get as few distractions as possible. So I'm for kindly ask that you turn your phone to the silence mode. Then we go. All right, it's exactly 2 p.m. by midtech, and I want to take this opportunity for welcoming you all to this very, very special edition of the Ministry of Information and Civic Education, a weekly press conference, but what we do specifically in partnership with the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies Review. This is a special edition we will do with the Cross-Party Committee, and I want to start by paying respect to the leadership of the committee, the 3 co-chairs there where I get the privilege for get today on this special panel. On the right, as I can see, we get Madam Seraphine Wakana, who is the resident coordinator for the United Nations Salone. On the immediate left, we get Dr.Kaifala Marah, who is a co-chair and a representative of the All People's Congress Party, APC. And then at the end of this table, we get Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, who is the co-chair and they represent the government of Salone. As we all know, a few months ago, the government of Salone and the All People's Congress Party, with international partners, they've been signed they've been getting an agreement after a mediated dialogue between the government and the APC. And one of the resolutions there, now that His Excellency in consultation with the APC party, will constitute a cross-party committee on electoral systems and management bodies review with a 3-way leadership nominated by the government of Salone, the APC, and development partners. The body will examine the electoral system structures and processes of the 2023 multi-tier electoral cycle. The committee will also be informed by previous elections with a view for highlight and address the contentious issues of elections and results management, including collation, verification, authentication, and publishing of electoral data consistent with international best practice for enhance the credibility of all future elections in Salone and that we will guarantee the election will be free, fair, and credible. 3A will say the terms of reference for be developed under the joint leadership of the committee within 30 days. We did a today for say this committee don't work, and they don't come for car reports on the work they don't do, and for show the products of their work, for sign these terms of reference. I want to take the opportunity to particularly acknowledge the presence of our international development partners who have been moral guarantors in this process, and for your support to the government and the people of our country. I should also particularly acknowledge the presence of Dr. Samoa Wilson-Kamara, who, as we know, is the leader, former presidential candidate of the All People's Congress Party, and my big brother and namesake, Sherry Obama, who is also here. I also want to acknowledge the chair of the APC as well, His Excellency Ambassador Yansone, members of cabinet who are here, members of the development community who are also here. I acknowledge as well members of the respective parties, but I also want to particularly pay tribute to the members of this cross-party committee. I want to acknowledge you all by your names. The APC reps on the committee, I've already mentioned Dr.Kaifala Marah, who is a co-chair. We have Dr. Almami P. Kuruma, who is a member, is here. Madam Bernadette Cargo, who is also here. Thank you. Mr. David Fona, my brother Boniface Kamara, Mr. Prince Stolly, and somebody I only call Uncle Richard Conte. Thank you all for your service. Also, of course, on the government side, we have my teacher, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima, who is here, the Honorable Justice John Kamanda, the Honorable Dr. Fatimata Hassan, Honorable Madam Helen Kuyebe, my big brother, Honorable Alpha Sise, the Honorable Umaru Napoleon Kuruma, Madam Aisatu Jabi Kaba as well. These are the members whose work we mean say we are today. As you notice, I switch somewhat between Creole and English, where we say we do Kringlish in our new language we will discover. Now, without further ado, we do three major things here. One, we ask the co-chair them for talk, for provide an update, and share their updates. We start with the United Nations representative. We are in the represent development partners on the committee, and then I will go in the way of to listen from Dr. Marah and Dr. Gaima. After the statements there, we officially sign the agreed terms of reference. So I'll get the terms of reference, we'll present here, we'll get a signing ceremony, and then we sit up and we open up for questions from the members of the fourth estate and the people that we have. So without further ado, Madam Seraphine Wakana, Resident Coordinator of the United Nations, the floor is on yours.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. Allow me to stand on existing protocol. Good afternoon, all. It's an honor for me to be part of this press conference today, which intends to provide an update on the progress made by the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Body Review, which is one of the provisions of the Agreement for National Unity that was signed on 18 October 2023 between the government and the opposition, All People's Congress, ABC. I'm also pleased by the achievement made so far by the committee under the co-leadership of two very capable co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima and Dr. Kaifala Marah. The committee started its work at the beginning of January and concluded this first phase with an agreed terms of reference that define its scope of work for the next 5 months. I would like particularly to commend the core leadership and committee members for their capacity to remain engaged amidst divergences and sometimes strong views on each other positions, and to be able to mitigate their differences and close the gaps between the different approaches and positions in a constructive manner. I believe that this is a result that should be praised by all of us, as it is an important step toward the promotion of unity and national cohesion after a very divisive post-electoral period. As stated by His Excellency President Julius Maada Bio in his national address of 24 October 2023, reviewing the electoral system is critical to strengthening Sierra Leone's democracy. And indeed, the intended examination of the electoral systems, structures, procedures, and processes, once coupled with impactful electoral reforms that reflects international best practices, will help to strengthen institutions and sustain democratic governance in Sierra Leone. It is important to remark that the process of electoral reform is nationally owned, and committee members will carry out the work of the committee. The United Nations and development partners remain committed to supporting the implementation of the agreed TORs of the committee, as well as the entire agreement for national unity. The United Nations is not only represented in the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies review, but we are also part of the team of moral guarantors of the entire agreement for national unity. I would like to take this opportunity to call on both the ruling and opposition parties to support the full implementation of the TORs of the committee, as well as to jointly contribute to diffusing tensions in communities across the country, advocating for national cohesion and unity, and explicitly and consistently countering the divisive ethno-regional discourse and hate speech that has prevailed during the electoral period and beyond. This remains crucial for keeping the spirit of the agreement of national unity alive. I thank you all for your kind attention.
Thank you very much, Madam Wakana, for fumbling our house. It's something that the UN commend the committee for the work they not do, for the leadership they show, the pledge, the continued support to this process, and he also asks that we all work together for bringing the tension down and for promoting peace and strengthening with democracy as a whole. We also thank you for your support. I now have the privilege to invite the other co-chair who represents the opposition party, the All People's Congress Party, the very distinguished Dr.Kaifala Marah. The floor is yours.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mr. Minister. Honorable Minister and your colleagues, leaders of political parties, in particular the All People's Congress, honorable members of Parliament here present, other government officials, civil society representatives, Your Excellencies, members of the Diplomatic Corps, civil society representatives, distinguished guests and members of the media, I join my co-chairs, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima of the government of Sierra Leone, and the UN Resident Coordinator, Ms. Seraphine Wakana, representing development partners, and my dear colleagues on the Tripartite Committee, to warmly welcome you all to this maiden press briefing of the Cross-Party Committee on Electoral Systems and Management Bodies Review, which we call the Tripartite Committee. Family. As we all are aware, the June 24, 2023 elections, it may end in a controversy and a standoff between the All People's Congress and government of Sierra Leone. The APC, and many people believe, say transparency not been there in the electoral process, in particular the Italian process. The deliberate refusal of the ECSL for publish the data, the results, we will help people then for examine the results, no go down well with the APC, many civil society groups, citizens of this country, and other institutions across the world. Because of this intransigence, because of this decision, where the ECSL take enough for published results, after where many people, especially the APC, believe say irregularities will take place. Among many considerations, the APC decide not for participate in governance, especially in parliament and councils across the country. I'm sure we all be aware of that. Now, this time of day, as a result of that, we get the international community will be so worried and concerned that they step in. Along with the bodies over there, we partners over there, the diplomatic community over there, we get the Commonwealth Secretariat, ECOWAS, the African Union, and the National Peace Commission I have been come for mediate a dialogue between the APC and government. And we all recall that's been take place in Pintumani from the 16th to the 18th of October 2023. That dialogue day will end with an agreement we all refer to as the Agreement for National Unity. That agreement for national unity get 8 resolutions. But we all now know that we, the Tripartite Committee, responsible for Resolution 3 alone. Waiting now this Resolution 3, I'm sure we all know, Mr. Minister don't make reference to them. But for me, I reiterate, we mandate there twofold. One, now for review the 2023 elections, where the APC not really been pleased with and continue not for pleased with. And 2, for me we take a look at previous elections. In the process, we get for look at the contentious issues. We get for do the collation of results. It get for good verification. It get for do with how they publish electoral results. Whether how they do things in electoral management is consistent with international best practice. And if you're not consistent, waiting the committee will recommend so that tomorrow future elections will be free, will be fair, will be credible, will be transparent. We all know, as Mr. Minister said, the cross-party gets 3-way leadership where they are, and we get equal representation at the committee that in our government, and we 7-7, Mr. Minister don't show them, and we sister where they are, Seraphine Wakana, they represent development partners as the co-chair. We start to work as Madam Seraphine said on the 19th of December. It meant we will not get plenty time again, not to 6 months again. So therefore, double effort. But today, we are a transparent body. We believe anything we do get for Canada the public domain. We get for take Sierra Leone along. We get for take partners along. So we not only sign the terms of reference today, but they show a little bit how far we don't go and which contain these terms of reference. But for sure that the work we don't do, not only we don't develop the terms of reference, and now explain to family and where they far and wide to say the terms of reference and the document where they guide the work of this committee, what we will do and how for do. In addition to that, we don't develop rules of proceedings, how therefore conduct two meetings. We don't also develop a communication framework. We get for take the people of Sierra Leone along this transparent process. Anything where they happen, therefore be open for everybody to see. We don't hide anything. So we don't develop that. But we don't also develop a delivery framework. This delivery framework, they guide me, the nitty-gritties, how to work, for example, with the experts that will therefore bring on board. This one therefore show timelines how to work. We'll get reset deadlines will be set for ensure that we work within the time. And we don't also formulate a secretarial structure. We'll bring on board experts, for example, experts who are responsible for electoral laws, for local laws, experts who are responsible for elections management, and experts who are responsible for institutional reform. Because we think to say some of the institutions that we get for those elections need some changes to be made. But how we reach our family? Government they under, APC they under. Now been tough one. We the vote will start first. Halala can say one man going away. But we come back. This is in this part. We then come back to the issues. Say no, what you talked yesterday, not right. It's our government only. Dr. Marah says in an APC no more. Well, what about the people of Sierra Leone? So sister there, she was playing that role, for see how we manage things. Well, what is out there for Sierra Leone? How will we achieve that? So one make people that know that the work of the tripartite committee and for serve the interest of the country will they grow above individual issues. But not forgetting that the people that will give this responsibility will get for serve and purpose and fruit. So we will not forget that. So we put the country first. So the family then go on for no, waiting then at these terms of reference. We don't talk about Lentia, one for no now, waiting then how then call and Kotoku. I don't know if I'm right. So waiting then say this Kotoku. Yes, so make we explain few to now, not to all. One, and for make this committee examine the 2023 election result. So the committee therefore examine the 2023 election result. Then we therefore examine previous election results as well. We therefore look at the shipment, tallying, and announcement of elections result. We therefore look at the procedures for certification and publication of results. We also therefore take a look at data migration from the National Civil Registration Authority to how it get fulfilled into the ECSL arrangement. Complaints in there about a fine people look at law land lessons and correct totally for correct. Then we also therefore take a look at the report and recommendations of elections observer missions. For example, the European Union and the Carter Center. We therefore take a look at all of that for land lessons. So we'll see how elections go and what we will do for meet up best practice. We also therefore take a look at the electoral laws, like the Public Elections Act of 2022, and all other laws in the country we get for those elections. Question, they're enough? They're manipulatable, somebody can manipulate them? Gaps in there? What do you know we will do about these laws? Are there best practice within the region and elsewhere where we learn from? If yes, we'll make further recommendations so that electoral laws will be good and will be excellent and will be in tandem with international best practice. We also get to take a look at electoral redress mechanisms. You know, there are issues. You file petitions, sometimes take 2-3 years, nothing not happen. We get to look at that. The timing, they announce a president. Few minutes later, the Chief Justice swearing, you administer the oath. Then the following morning, you file a petition to the same Chief Justice. And then you only get limited window for bringing all the evidence for submitting petitions. It makes best practice, lessons they will go learn. We'll take a look at what things happen in other countries. And then they will get for do. Then we'll also get for do functional review, take a look at some institutions, ECSL. We'll get for take a look at their staffing profile, the institutional profile, decision-making profile. Things that we will need for do in their institutions, not just ECSL, but the other one then who believes they get one or two things for do with elections. We'll get for review them one day. Family. During the course of the work, maybe we'll get the need for invite people and for make clarifications, whether in the security sector, whether in ECSL or anyone, for make them explain further how things and they ask questions so that the work of the committee will be wholesome, it will be informed, and recommendations will be good. Then, this committee also get a mandate that during the course of the examination of all of them together, if we found a person, an institution, or a group, say they not undermine the electoral process of this country, we can make appropriate recommendations to the president. So these are some of the core mandates of this committee. And I want people to know that the findings and recommendations of this particular committee, government and APC don't make commitment that their recommendations, they could be actionable and could be implementable. So the APC and government don't make that commitment. Today, we will sign the terms of reference. But what we don't sign the terms of reference, we found and out there we want to know what are the next steps. We will try to work with our sister, the co-chair, and with development partners for ensure that we quickly recruit the experts that we need so that we will commence this work. But whilst we do that recruitment, this committee will take the onus for go across the country so that people then, when they will listen to it today and we need for learn more, will know a lot more about the work. Now, we want to remind ourselves as a committee that we run it in a sacred way, and that the expectations of Sierra Leoneans are very high of this committee. We also don't learn that growing concerns then in the country about elections, about the value for votes, about the freedom and security for casting votes, and how that vote could be protected when no Sierra Leoneans concerned. That particular job wouldn't give me, when I all agree with me, and it's a sacred one. So because it's sacred, excuse me, we hope therefore for do we utmost, for serve the country, for ensure that recommendations based on the findings. We hope for established facts and for clear doubt around the 2023 elections. We'll therefore identify weaknesses in overall electoral systems with structures and processes and then make recommendations. Therefore, we will not talk say this committee now one. At this press conference, we leaders and where they are, we want to know exactly who they are in this committee, what is our commitment, we from the APC. Would they say we will do a judicious job? We'll collaborate with the government side and with development partners for ensure that recommendations are clearly informed by the findings we'll get from it. But get word for the people of Sierra Leone as well. As a committee, Salon self gets a responsibility for help this process. Now two-way thing. Will they do the job for the country? And when I self get for be part of this process, now that may get for continue for regional. But it goes beyond that. Make I just say this. And very important at this juncture for say this. On behalf of the committee for clear his air about elections we run. I don't think any member there on this committee will sleep. See the room don't go again. We know the enormity of the job. We know that it's a sacred one. But one law we know also say that professional job they don't do. Law not preempt the outcomes. Law not preempt the outcomes. We're not allowing make we do findings. Based on them findings, we make recommendations. Law will not forget that government and the ABC don't already make a commitment for implement the recommendations we put forward. So they ask everyone to be patient. The one then where they do rumor mongering, where they write or pass or do any kind of thing, with the big una for make una focus on one thing. Listen to what the committee they do. That is why we don't put in place a communication framework for continue for engage the public. We now your mouthpiece, we will talk. So if I go recap on this, I want to say, we no want preempt any outcome. We want to do we job judiciously. We go for do review, do we examinations. Based on we findings, we will then make recommendations. And I want make una know that everything we do not a secret. Everything we do get for day in the open. We take Sierra Leone along. So make una know say nothing not do get for cover. Any findings or recommendations so they get for be factual. Yeah. I want at this juncture, I don't touch on this time there against Ms. Moore, Mr. Minister, the round up now. You know, within our opposition, we know we mandate in resolution 3. It don't necessarily touch the other resolutions. But I will not say this today, and I want to underscore this today, that some of the resolutions and they suffer, we need to make good on them. Like resolution 4, the release of persons arrested and detained, discontinuation of politically motivated cases, support to resettle internally and externally displaced persons, payment of backlog emoluments to elected MPs, mayors, chairpersons, and councillors, among others. Even with 4 poor councillors now take today, they're not taking their seats. You know what they say? Yeah. By the time the committee they don't invoke, let me to say most of the resolutions they are done, they don't. But then continue for back, we self can make real recommendations. The vote will be an overloaded one. So we, the APC, they continue for great indulgence of government. With a goodwill for collaborating with under this part of the National Unity Agreement for make we implement some of the resolutions there so that the public will continue to get confidence and we all will continue for daily on the part of the peace and cohesion what they talk about and pray for always. We are sure that our partners are standing by to continue to provide support. And let me therefore close by commending our development partners and the wider international community for supporting this process with the ultimate aim of saving our democracy. We thank the United Nations for supporting our meetings and providing coordination. The Commonwealth, the African Union, the European Union, ECOWAS, the UK, the Irish Embassy, the German Embassy, and all of them. And we thank the US for providing $1.5 million to support the process through the USAID implementation window. we want to thank our respective principals, in particular for us on the APC side. We want to thank you. We want to put confidence in we for serve on this committee. And we say before God and man, we will not let the committee and we will not let the APC and the country down. We want to say a big thank you to all other party members and every other person in the country, including civil society and Muna, the Fourth Estate. We want to tell you thank you for our commitment, and we ask please, make una go for accurate reporting. If una get issues, una ask we. Very soon within we communication framework, una go know which person, the person who will lead communication for this, so that una go to interact and put out the right information for the consumption of the public. I want to say thank you to my colleague them. I want to say a big thank you to my brother Gaima, who can go back and forth. But they say no matter no agree, I dey consult State House. I say myself I don't agree on this. I dey go to the party. The following day, I don't consult, yes. Marah, I don't consult, no. Well, we agree. A tough one, the family. Very tough and difficult. We crave our indulgence, make una put our confidence in this committee. We will and shall and deliver what you not expect of me. One for tell una thank you, make us Thank you, Mr. Minister.
Thank you very, very much, Dr.Kaifala Marah, co-chair and representative of the All People's Congress Party. Once in a while in history, people may be required to stand up, for do the right thing for the country and put the country above self. I think we don't hear statements. We're reflective of the membership of the committee. In that spirit, we, the people of this country, they talk for all the people level, so I talk for them now. We want to tell you thank you for your leadership. I just want to say that I'm getting the privilege to attend one committee meeting, and I see quickly the spirit we express. Sharp principle disagreement, but in the spirit of harmony and unity, that's when they seek for putting the interests of this country above self. His Excellency President Bill called for we all level build bridges and not walls. And we pray that this committee will continue in that spirit. And for now, turn to the other co-chair, where they represent the government of Salone, Dr. Emmanuel Gaima. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister. We have my apologies for the voice because I traveled late, so that's a terrible bad voice. I want to stand on all the salutation protocols and all the protocols we, my brother Dr. Kaifala Marah, established in terms of salutation or greetings and for the opening. The family and house and we were there on the 23rd of June 2023. On the 24th of June 2023, Salone do number 5 election after the war. I think as a nation, irrespective of the facts we do review, this national tool will celebrate that we done 5 elections after the war. It means as a country, we don't begin to move. Also, the other good news about that election is after 60 plus years of this country, the memories have me well. And the first election landing, we win, the people of Sierra Leone. We put money inside, we run up for ourselves. We partner the help we. But when they help we, the help go to other brothers and sisters them who they run NGO for do some element of voter education, civic education. So it will some courage that perhaps very late, but it happened, not to alter and for the wrong election and for this. So for congratulate yourself and for tell we partners and thank you, we the push we follow be not only responsible, but let we self begin take your responsibility into our hands since we see on an independent state. Family, we all know say we got that election. The election cycle of 2023, we base on the revised Public Election Act of 2022. That revised Public Elections Act of 2022, now it's informal. In 2007, 2012, 2018, the European Union filled large number, close to 100 people. They don't have to take, they got a long term, they got a short term. Each time when they done for the election, they will make what they call elections recommendations. So when President Bio came, and with my humble appointment, it's always say in embarrassed because in the political dialogue meeting, the European Union say we can't spend money by elections, we not take the recommendations seriously. So most of the recommendations of 2007, 2012, 2018, that they informed the Public Elections Act of 2022. So in a way, quietly, some form of electoral review may not start. So what we do at this committee, the committee board have made reference to the other day, we dey deepen now. We dey go deeper and look at what's in the left. But don't also forget to say, in the lawmaking process, we come out to government, we got a very important arm of government, under the legislature, under parliament. Where government take bill, on a proposal to the house, it got for one lobby for them to pass it. So tell you what government will put, not to all things will pass, but most of the things will pass. So government self will say, it may not have been a very perfect law, because to me now I come in the process. Something that they would want to decide it from the recommendation. Parliament in its wisdom, like they normally say, they should say enough for the day. And I think my friend and brother, Honorable Chairman, at some point they even asked me if the parliament had a vote. So whatever happened, we still use that election act today, plus the PPRC revised legislation. We also use the phenomenal UB Act, we made for the very first time in this country. We insisted in comforting with small students that get meaningful political representation across age and in the House. The election results will come out. I speak on behalf of government that the election results were pronounced a win for His Excellency President Julius Maada. And as per Constitution Act No. 6 of 1991, the judiciary carried out one of its separate mandates for the restraining of His Excellency and the assumption of office. That will happen. Immediately after that, the ECSL, I know there no brief for speak on behalf of them, the ECSL will publish some results that is it, or publish results that is it, for ordinary members of parliament, parliamentary members of parliament, councillors, chairmen, and mayors of resort. There was an expectation after that, say all man who win go either to the council or to parliament. Our brothers and sisters in the All People's Congress issue a statement that they will undertake, quote, non-participation in governance. Having said that, His Excellency the President automatically realized this can be serious because governance is about inclusivity, it is about participation. But more importantly also, people have voted for people who have been declared winners. They need to take their places in the House. They need to take their places in the Council. So it started for those rethinking. And that rethinking started in-house first. What did he do? He called members of government at high level. They discuss and realize there may be need for look at the electoral architecture once more again. But family, all of us say, not only Salone, most parts of the world, electoral reform is an ongoing process. You cannot get it at a go all the time, one at a time. So, family will realize, we co-chair Dr. Marah preference, His Excellency, the President, and the opening of this life of Parliament. If we make pronouncement at Parliament, he said he will put together a committee for look at the electoral system in the country. At that time, he will nominate a vice president for chair. But shortly after that, when another state institution called for comment, if you do the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion, what they call Peace Commission for short, they decide for start for engage with the brother and sister at the APC. And they inform say, the brothers and sister at the APC, they want to discuss critical and burning issues pertaining to governance. Well, on the side of government, we believe say, the Peace Commission of Product of Development Peace Accord, we believe say the Sierra Leone should be proud of because it tailed before start, but finally we don't get them. They were allowed to go ahead, and so they facilitate what to get the international mediated dialogue. But I believe say, if you know get some people that we got call from ECOWAS, the African Union, Commonwealth Secretariat, we self believe for that process there. I think I will do most of the talk. And at this point, again, I want to join the brother for this special recognition to the elder brother, male former boss and leader of the APC, Dr. Seraphine Wakana, where he not only did it, but he did it full soul for 3 days, and that gives back the people we say to the agreement. Now, this tripartite agreement, we don't call the agreement for national unity, we go on we call them the Bible. It ties me down the people brother say resolution 3. And important, don't clarify that, and I don't forget that one. However, when we discuss, the idea was that the All People's Congress, through Dr. Seraphine Marah, for them nominate to His Excellency the President, people left from the APC, and the President will use the nomination for constitute the tripartite committee or the three-way committee. But the President, looking at the nomination and believing, say, there is need for more inclusivity and more participation, he decided to approve all the 7 nominees. What they said. So therefore, the people brother say, because they sent 7, he said decide now still nominate 7 on the side of the government. So now so we get the magic number of 7 for the APC and 7 for the SLPP. I know I'm going now, prepare a report to progress we don't make so far. But I want also to say, the government of Sierra Leone firmly believe in this process, and because after the report recommendation will not be presented to the President, and the government going to say, or look at the implementation and the rolling out, the government will take all the residual functions as part of the effort of government for deepening and strengthening democracy, but also for strengthening democratic and national state institutions. Before they come, I will take it from them. They tell me, say, this is good, we'll not continue. Let the committee work so hard so that we're not going to make the same mistake all of the time. I put on that one. So, what's in this committee? Co-chairs, a lot of permits will I explain. Because in my other life, as presidential governance advisor, a lot of I do media monitoring. I realize, say, Mr. Chairman, I realize, say, some newspaper articles, probably because we don't do this yet, probably because of lack of adequate information, we don't make some statements or assertions. And I just want to say, what are the issues around the committee that the committee is or may not be? First and foremost, this committee is a product of political dialogue and political settlement. Not a statutory committee, not a commission of inquiry, as it were. Because as you say, there are times some people don't clearly together as in. The objective of this committee will be very well, and I want permission of the chair, Mr. Minister, I really explain, English explaining it. The fundamental objective of the committee is the enhancement of the credibility of all future elections in Sierra Leone. This is critical so that Sierra Leone will move together with other progressive countries in the international system. So, whatever we do, one key thing with this committee for keep an eye on, in the words of the colleague coach, probably one signpost, is that after we don't lose job, all other elections will kind of salon going forward. We will make sure say whatever challenges we don't experience in the previous 5 elections, those challenges will no longer exist. Again, this committee, like what the brother said, it will invite people them who can talk to them, which means therefore this committee not so an investigative body, now a review body. Also, I want to tell you now to the brother say the mandate of this committee, as at the time it was signed on the 18th of October 2023, is 6 months. So which means for now, until otherwise, maybe the principal negotiators the elder brother and the boss of Seraphine Wakana and the chief minister as principal negotiators come for discuss. I can continually remind the committee, say, we are a creation of 6 months. Whether we will be aborted now or terminated or allowed for growth further, the principal said, whether they send me, they will care for 10 weeks. And whether the end state, so will terminate. The end state or point of termination will be a report. And that report, it got for their recommendations drawn from all what we will find out in the various segments, and most of the things that we brother referred to in the terms of reference. And that report will be submitted to His Excellency the President. And we now agree, the President, that once it's submitted, it will consult or engage with the APC for look at the implementation of their committee for the good of all of us. Co-chair Dr. Marah talked about the other 7 resolutions. The other 7 resolutions, they fall outside the scope. However, I've learned also in the media that from the government side, we don't receive lots of representation from other political parties, that we are dealing with only one political party and there are 17 registered political parties. The good thing is, in one of the resolutions, I don't know whether it's resolution 5 or 4 or resolution 5, there is also provision for inter-party dialogue between the APC, the SLPP, and other political parties. So if there are political party representatives here, I believe say there is an opportunity in that platform also for them to engage at that level and bring the process. And this is important. Why is it important? Because we are talking about future credible non-contested elections. And these are political parties also will equally be participating in those elections. So it just was logical and ethical that they also become part of that. I want to conclude for saying, His Excellency the President has been approached, and rightfully so, that because this committee, now about Sierra Leone, now about the people of Sierra Leone, and about the government of Sierra Leone, the government of Sierra Leone is bound for investor money now. So you don't commit sin. Let the chief minister do the necessary paperwork within government for mandatum within the laws for letting them put some money into running and the operations of this committee. So that it not only become our partners supporting the committee, but it become a committee supported by the government of Sierra Leone and its partners. Co-chair, I want to emphasize the review and the report and the recommendations from this committee, it will be very timely for the work of government. Because and the big 5 game changers will they don't put inside the Million-Term National Development Plan. We're going to go pillar 4. That pillar 4 is talk about revamping the public service. And if we revamp the public service, ECSL and all the other election management bodies will go under review, they belong to the public service. So part of the work is being done on this side and it will feed into that day, and I think say that process itself will feed on that. I want to end on this note what the President also tell me say that I will inform the committee and all of us and co-chairs and we'll be going out of Seraphine Wakana say, as the President of the Republic is committed to the process and he will support this process to a logical conclusion. And final bit of it for me is the fact that the Dr. Marah said, Lord not preempts the recommendations, but as we see consistent with our mandates, we're not getting nothing where right and the mandate say, Lord will discuss about when the next election will be held. Until such time when it comes up, and by the laws of this country, the next election, I should quote the Minister of Information and Civic Education, I do sometime in 2020. Thank you very much, and I want to thank the partners, civil society, colleagues from the APC, the media, and all Australians out there for their patience, for their courage, for their understanding, for allowing governments, for working with the APC, for putting this committee together, and I believe in it, join the co-chairs, particularly my brother Dr.Kaifala Marah, Lord, I show patience and tolerance and accompany this process so that we do it for make sure I look better, stronger, credible, and part of the international civilized world. I think we'll take you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Co-Chair. And thank you for pledging the support of the government of Salone. I can also say that I know, say His Excellency President Julius Madabio, they follow this process very keenly and he fully committed. The government fully committed. In fact, today's press conference, normally we can do weekly press conference, we set aside and say we give this platform and partner with the committee. And part of that commitment, they say we take this obviously at the highest level. I want to take this opportunity as well for acknowledge, say we get the Deputy Mayor of the city, Idinaya, Your Worship, Mr. Kwekulis, ASQ, the chairperson of the All People's Congress Party. If I tell you that the history I gave it, Uncle Mikhail, I'm not going to understand. But I want to say you're welcome. Acknowledge your presence. I want to acknowledge the chairperson of the ruling Sierra Leone People's Party. I see him come in very quietly at some point. The very distinguished Honorable Dr. Prince Hardington there. And my colleagues have in cabinet, many of them there. The Honorable Minister Mark Kalon, I see Honorable Minister of Local Government, I see Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Deputy Minister of Higher Education, and other VIPs. Now, we don't reach the high point. I want to invite, then they call themselves IFAM. Now we know the works of this committee are not small because I don't attend the meeting. The Honorable Alpha Sise and the Honorable Dr. Richard Conte, they call themselves Sise Conte Fan. And they will do the work really closely together. I want to put your hands together for them to very fine statement. So we can do the official signing. So we'll come on this side. We'll do the official signing. So then we'll lead the process. The three co-chairs have the sign and initial every single document based on what you explain to Winaya. And we will see the true results of collaboration and patriotism over what we know say, yes, difficult, contentious issues, but we willing as Sierra Leoneans for put aside other interests so we will lift Salone above all else. So now we witness the official signing. Honorable Alpha said, we get some press people and so today on the side, so we say exactly. Exactly, so you say with the inside the frame. So they get a chance that this will come for, and they sign, they don't miss no paper, they don't miss no page, and they sign and initial every single page. So, we are all now the witness, the people of Salone will watch this, the community radio stations that we carry live, and every single corner of Salone today. And then they see with the conference to make I tell you one thing, the rules. Today, we have 3 superstars there and 3 superstars there alone. We are the co-chair. Nobody really use this platform for later celebrity. We want to celebrity to create you. Yeah, you ask question. Straight up, you ask the question, we'll give you the mic, then we collect, we get the answer, the question, and we'll answer to the questions in a very peaceful manner. So we avoid long briefings. We already know the briefings. I mean, they don't need speech there. They don't tell me all the background. You point out for seek clarification and ask quick question. So we can do that around the after we conclude with the signing. want for call on the members of the committee for come forward. We want to do one quick photo. So now we're there and we'll lift up the paper they will sign. We'll take one picture now, then we'll sit down again and take the question. So one call on the members of the committee for come. Me not in the committee, so I come on the picture. The co-chairs them, they will lift up the paper they will sign.
Pay attention.
All right. I asked the co-chair them. Sorry. Sorry. No, I want the co-chair.
Right, make fast.
Maybe, yes. I think you want to yeah. All right, I want to smile. Cheese, everybody. And ladies and gentlemen, I don't put too much together. I just want to time for them. Thank you very much.
Make her fast and come on in.
All right, brilliant. Thank you very much. All my busy to take picture. Maybe you're not class. Busy to take picture. All right. All right, so I'll ask you all for remain seated. As he say me homeboy from the great state of New York, His Excellency the Ambassador for Salud to the United States, Idia, Honorable Sidikiwai, Your Excellency, thank you. It's great to see you here. Thank you. I want to acknowledge your very distinguished presence today as well. Me in New York and let's get with conversations. Anyway, now we open up for questions. As always, I will start with the question that we don't already count online because I want to encourage you now for the use the online platform. Number one, now listen. Please, when I'm already there now, I'll listen. I beg. Thank you. Number one question. Now the mandate for the committee for investigate the election and recommend for Iran on adjust for letting reform election law. Second question, along very similar lines, so I therefore ask you to answer this question before we go. The committee get the power for request a rerun if they find flaw, or if no, the government, for the sake of the person say if the government will request a rerun based on a recommendation. So this question of whether rerun day and the possibility of a rerun, it will continue for the ask. And I think today we'll get to Nonaya and they go an opportunity for making an answer. Another person asked, and normally because it's not the weekly government press conference, we take any and all questions. So I read this question, me go answer later. The person say, on the day of zero tolerance for FGM, within government the plan for doing a response to the alleged 3 deaths from FGM reported in January and for prohibits this act inside the law. So this now is slightly separate but very important question, and I will respond to that question on behalf of the government of Salon. But for now, co-chairs, I want to handle this question head on. When I get the mandate for seek a rerun, will there be a rerun? When I recommend a rerun? I'll start with you now. So we'll go for the door and you start, and then you start.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister and Chair of the occasion. I think in my presentation, I make it categorically clear that even by the name, electoral systems review and management bodies. For now review they do, we'll not get a thorough investigation, but we go invite, we encourage, if you are well in the Sierra Leone and you believe, say, this is something that is good for the country, this is something we're supposed to do for our country good before, I think moral suasion will draw you for a come and accept the invitation and respond to it. Straightforward, we get a mandate as a constituted committee for request for a rerun. No, to the best of my understanding of the mandates. And the document will be put out, and the Honorable Minister will encourage you that you try to put it out so that people can read and understand.
Yeah, thank you so much. During the presentation, I make reference to a few things, and I've been very clear about them. One, I will take a look at the 2023 elections. And second, we'll take a look at previous elections and make recommendations. Somebody asked whether the committee get a mandate for investigate. We get a mandate for examine. But for investigate and examine, if you check the dictionary, not the same meaning. So you tie the rope to the go to, you take the go to turn to the rope, not the same. Correct? Yeah. We don't do a good work as a committee. We don't agree, say, we'll therefore take a look at election results. No, no preemptivity. Let the results come, we look at. I think we get more than 2 million people who will vote. Not so? 2 million people who will vote. Then vote. A good number not satisfied on the APC side. The reason why we sit down and forget this review and why they get this meeting this afternoon for informed celebrations, and because something happened when not being right. And as my brother said, he said the president will make a commitment for support the recommendations of the committee. Me, now professional, I do my recommendations based on the findings. Let the result then come on look at. Based on the findings, we don't make good recommendations. Whatever that recommendation is there for me, it therefore be based on the findings. So the
Okay. Normally I will ask a follow-up question, but I allow the press to come and then we say we'll get a bite. But there was a question on FGM. The government aware of the reported deaths, unfortunate deaths of 3 females, 3 girls, allegedly related to FGM and the rights of Bondo society. The government is very aware. Of course, the government very concerned and moved by that news day. And President Bill don't show a strong commitment for protect girl, beginning and woman rights in this country. In the last government, cabinet, they approved the draft child rights bill, the revised bill. And one of the provisions in that bill now for particularly prohibits the practice of FGM on females who are below the age of 18. We believe that there will be a big step towards reforming this and preventing that kind of death. I want to make clear, say, the circumstances of these deaths are being investigated by the authorities, and then when they will responsible will face the full force of the law. Broader reform conversations, as I say, we believe say they are ongoing, and the minister they work on bringing back, follow past the appropriate laws there, so that we will get the reforms that we will need. All right, now questions. I see hands up. You know the rule. You put your hands up, and I'll pick 5 at a time. Okay, 1. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay? Go ahead.
Go ahead, run.
Mina Mohammed Kone, and I work for a Standard Times newspaper. From one Uganda, I already don't see disagreement from whether election for Eagle or not for Eagle. But then, with what they assure this country that whatever recommendations we come out of this committee, when I implement them, I'm not going to for the international committee, can push it again for that. Because all the time they do the international committee, and pushing for that. Which time, and number 2, waiting on the challenge for make or not pay backlog to people that will be done, from the opposition. We've not been going to parliament for 3 months. Wait on the challenge, we make or not pay them up tonight. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Then number 1. Number 2.
Yes, I was saying to say, I'm right for Concord Times. This question will go for Dr. Marah. Now, the work of the committee, now for serve the interest of the country, right? As you say. Now you represent APC. How you go strike a balance between the interest of the country and the party?
Mohammed Kanara, the watch. Yes, sir. Mr. Chair, sir. From an historical perspective, the APC and SFP will always be the same. Too much theories, but nothing fundamental to the interest of the people there. Now, people say, all the things are not there. Why, if at all in the near future, now we use the political party regulation of the commission as a whip, because trust is lost to the politicians that this country say, we would agree today, tomorrow is another index. Thank you, sir.
Mr. Kama, I don't say I like your business, but now I wonder what's not the question we ask. Yeah, Mr. Kama, one of the most frequent questions. Pick that up. Okay, number 4.
Yeah, Lawrence Williams, editor of Freedom Post. My question is very direct. Does the review process involve subjecting the ECSL election data to examination, yes or no? And lastly, I would love to know whether that document you just signed will be made publicly available.
Thank you very much. Number 5.
Thank you very much. Mohammed Bikuma, Civil Society. My question is, why we don't get into the committee, a civil society, or a media representative? Thank you.
Okay. Okay. All right. And I first round of questions. We don't get 5 questions. We can ask the committee now for answer. I will send in question about, well, the first question about, it say, he noticed disagreement exists in the, I think, tone of an answer on a very specific question. And he claims, say, we only will do this because they're pushing us to do this. So I'm going to clarify that claim there. He says, whose assurance or give the people of Salon still going to implement the outcome? And then the question say about backlog payments. I think that's a question for the government, so I'll come back to that. Other person say interest of party versus interest of the country. So how do you balance that? And then Mr. Kamai question about say the trust deficit for the 2 parties in Salon. And what I say in the direct question, whether the review process involved in the subject ECL data to review. And then whether the document will be made available to one who just not sign. Then the civil society say, why make civil society not the committee? So they ask you first, Dr. Marah, for the answer first. Just take a bite through the question, and if we keep on short shots, we will get more opportunities, and then I give Dr. Gaima as well.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Conan. Because of this standoff, now that make the international community see reason for coming, sir, and that's not a responsibility. But for we as the APC, nobody knows for pushing. Now who wants this thing? That is why we bend backwards on many occasions, just because we want to make a country go before. We do look forward, for example, for my government implement the border resolutions that I don't just mention. As I create them intelligence, I ask them, and I'm happy this afternoon. My brother say, President Bio say, he committed to this process. Me, I want to see by tomorrow, what will Secretary General don't ask, law firm teams, so that when we side on their side, we will begin to take a look at what we will do for prisoners then, what we will do for the politically motivated, and many others, so that we clear the door before we come to the recommendations of the tripartite committee. Nobody no get for push we get for push ourselves, because we believe this is critical to the democracy of this country, and we believe to say that the right thing for do. Now we say we come up with a framework through which we give ourselves targeted timelines for deliver. We don't want to push beyond 6 months. We want the outcome now, we want the result now, and we believe that the commitment with APC and government don't make, it will come to fruition. Thank you. Number two, Concord time, somebody asked how I will strike the balance between the party interest and the country interest. When you do the right thing, you never get it wrong. It serves both purposes. That is why I say we commit for do the right thing. And that is what we're gonna do. If we do the right thing, it will meet the needs of the party, it will meet the needs of this country. Just do it right. You won't get it wrong. Thank you. About trust deficit, me, I'm not like for talk about trust and deficit of trust in this country. We all know myself on my income in profile. I want in that day. On ECSL data, we don't talk to say we get for examine the 2023 elections. I don't know, like I say, we always get problem with semantics. I stay with the words we define the committee, we examine the results of the 2023 elections. And yes, this is a transparent committee. I want to say whatever work they do get for the public, and I wish say whatever we do will continue for the public, so that everybody will get access to them. We'd already make that commitment. Thank you so much. Mr. Kuruma, about civil society. You know, we'll get for tell yourself true now. And I say this based on what I say just now about trust. It's very easy for me people they lash at politicians say they're not going to do the right thing. It's very easy. But you get for ask yourself, what about other sectors? Can you do the right thing? No. You know, we very much like the idea of work with civil society. I'm sorry, Mr. Chair, I want to digress a bit. When me, I'm a Minister of Finance, you will ask this question, and several others where they are no saying. I mean, they get quarterly meeting with civil society. At a point, even the subject, the implementation of a national budget to scrutiny. Not so? We involve them in the budgetary process. Even while they co-chair the G7 Plus, we continue for work with you now. At no point in time we do something that will not involve civil society. Or civil society self don't go bad. lot of health services. They don't smell little bit. They don't smell little bit. I get some civil society organizations in this country using sites I get trust and confidence in her. This new brother I get trust and confidence in her. I don't meet with some civil society. I don't want to name names. I trust many of them. But if you put all inside the bag, because some civil society organizations been there, we been to do certain things that we're not right. And they serve the interest of the country. It's not. So if you civil society they go outside the scope, they do things we're not right, yeah, this is not the place for talker. We now go by our mandate. With the hope, according to with terms of reference, that will therefore open up the process. Civil society therefore be involved. We'll therefore invite on her. We'll therefore talk to her. We'll therefore integrate on her ideas. If you get results, or you get anything we get for those election, ready to have a therefore can I host for asking on my office, for making the way whatever you get, for inform the process. So value now. But wait till they say, let civil society sit up small. You know, Rankoma say, we say, we advise the kinder. If you advise the arata for making left for eat the kinder, advise the kinder left for smell. Yeah, thank you. So, civil society for the law. We'll walk into now. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Normally, during the press conference with Minister and all, I can time them. And I can get where they come in for let them summarize. But today, a special day. I want, it's not part of the process for the whole, let me speak with mine. And I want to tell, I attempted for defense civil society since that space they come up, but I'm going to do that day now with this space wagon. So I ask co-chair for letting self respond to the questions. Go ahead, sir. Yeah. On the issue of assurances for recommendation, all I can say on behalf of the government is that His Excellency the President, the fact say it dismantled a committee we announced at the Honorable House of Parliament. The fact say it removed the Honorable Vice President, who had already announced in the House of Parliament before both national and international media and our international partners able to tell her to step aside and for accept to win her for stay at this process is marked demonstration of commitment to the process. So if that is not something that can give solace, then I want to support me Onkuriama about the issue of the trust deficits in our society. But I want to say the president, and I mentioned that 2 or 3 times in the presentation, the president remains committed to the process. Let's wait for the report. The minister is more authoritative. He will talk to the issue of the MPs and the payments. On the issue of the international community, I want to say categorically no. Unawi gets access to them, and I will tell them, even before the Independent Commission for Peace and National Cohesion came of Peace Commission, His Excellency had already discussed and would already put an address to Parliament as early as end of June for say it gets a committee for review the architecture. Within the international committee perhaps too, they were invited for can become mediators, and they were also invited as co-chairs, and they were also invited as moral guarantors. With some people in our country, let me talk about. The leadership of the country, my first thing say, maybe something wrong. Something we need to look at the system. We need to make sure say the issues they probably will not address in the new law and the electoral system, and also you observe saying now during the electoral cycle, we even decide for honor the constitution
for stop for calling agency NEC to ECSL by constitutional instrument. So quite a few things passed quickly in the electoral cycle during that last parliament, because there are parliamentarians here. Towards the close of parliament, a lot of things passed. So I could categorically say no, it is an inborn, homegrown presidential initiative, but the partners were called upon to be part of it. They're there. In terms of the PPRC requested seven and put them from being just a registration commission to a regulation commission. But again, and that's a bit of Dr. Marah in parable. Sometimes now we go accept to be regulated. There are people who are deviant. Even when there is a regulation, they go out. Perhaps sitting here as a governance person, as a political scientist by training, I would rather say, because of you say APC or SMPP, I would rather say perhaps what the political parties did in Sierra Leone is more internal democratization. Perhaps we need to get more internal culture of tolerance, accepting ourselves and going by the rules. Let's practice from within so that we can go outside. I believe say perhaps that more of that we need, but this is not a lecture I'm there. On the issue of whether this committee get power for examining the results, data, we will be guided by the national constitution. We will call ECSL as a committee. But the ECSL therefore be convinced by moral suasion or by court order for CAM, because they are protected by constitution and by the Public Elections Act that nobody not use in power over them, not even the president. I want to be clear. This committee will invite ECSL. This committee will encourage ECSL. This committee will cajole ECSL. But because this committee suffers from constitutional limitation, it depends on ECSL probably out of moral suasion or any other consideration for me to start. Yes, we got the right to invite them. But until they decide on which act we dispose that, we will not access and we have no power of coercion. And the final bit of the CSOs, my brother will talk about. And since my brother said, Lord talk true. Well, President Biyomi puts the committee together. He thought of CSOs. Some CSOs were nominated. But we are yet to reach consensus whether they're for CAM or they're not for CAM. But as we currently sit, technically speaking, the committee is short of CSO representation if we are nominated. So once we consensus, we convince them, because we don't agree now by the rules of engagement, say everything will be done by consensus. Once we arrive at consensus, the CSO will come. But you are not forgotten.
Thank you very much, co-chairs. Will it take the final round of questions? I also want to encourage you to say, one, when Dr. Marah they talk about CSOs, they talk about all sections of society for taking blame. The irony is that some people will clap. You will clap, you self for take blame. You self are part of the problem. The answer they will give now, we get one section will clap for one set of answer, one section will clap for another set of answer. At the end of the day, you don't go pick and choose the answer we want. When Dr. Marah or Dr. Gaima give one set of answer we want, even they don't call on and say, we don't listen to the committee. This country now we all get them. And one thing country we get. And Salon big pass everybody now. I mean, we all day now today, we try for make let things go forward. Yes. The old boss they used to say the thing about democracy and the first 100 years. What's that mean? Democracy is a slow, long, painful process. This today we witness so now a sign of progress in our democracy. That we can disagree on the kind of table and sign and agree on things and move forward. And that thing for applaud. We not there to go agree. We all not agree on every single word. We want to say notice disagreements. That's the point. Never go there. Because we get disagreements there. But we get for continue for work through the disagreement and the way to don't see today, like a commitment. So I want to join me for call on the people of this country. No one pick and choose the outcome we want. Let us support them for the outcome when they work together for move this country with democracy go before. Last set of questions. Let me see the hands. 1, 2, 3. It's the press. I want to give chance to the press, please. Okay? So the press then I will put now. Mr. Chairman, wait, I come back to you. Let's see again. 1, 2, 3. And I don't already point to you. 3. Mr. You want to part of the press. 4. And any other journalists? They are not journalists. That's why they are over there. Journalists, they are. Una journalists? Huh? Okay. Alright, you will be number 5. So you get the 90 represents also we call Albert Academy the backyard. You know where they are now. Alright, it's cool. I pointed at you so you know your numbers. Go on. And number 1 going on. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Suleiman Chalo. I work for Export Times newspaper and magazine. This question will go to Dr. Marah. You talk say some of the resolutions are solving, which includes 4 of our councillors now both district. They're not assumed office yet. I mean, so far as a political party, we don't be not find out as the problem we get a costing on them and not take office. Secondly, and you know, if see the people in that part of the country they are underrepresented because government they can do the work.
Okay, I think the question I will play back. No worry, there are no particular. I know the question and even the answer I don't know. Uda, now you number 2 years. Go on.
Hello, David Solomon, Radio.
Please, backyard, a big dear. Yes.
I just want to get clarity as if efforts were made to reach out to the other political parties and for the part of this committee if we talk about diversity.
Okay. Other political parties.
Hello, political scientist. Thank you so much. I'm glad in the lecture I had Dr. Kaifala Marah. We taught us about electoral reforms. Now, I want more clarity. We get 1991 constitution, which is very sacrosanct. Then we get Public Elections Act. All the recommendations we get for 2, now the committee, we get a body already. Then we get to go against them because we get to be guided by the national constitution. So I want for the more gets that inside there in terms of clarity. Real versus electoral review. Thank you so much.
So you ask question when you don't ask, you don't answer. Now you ask me. I hear you. You know that.
I work for Liberty Online TV. My question they go to Dr.Kaifala Marah. On to sim for the conflicting information, you and Dr. Gaima, they talk so that they examine the 2023 elections data. And now Dr. Gaima just don't state and clear the procedure for bringing the ECSL for produce this data, but I therefore go through a court order. If need be, since the APC now one of the things that this one have the request for say when I want to see the data, if need be, you as the person where they represent the APC in this committee, you can push for that?
And the gentleman will be there and then I may get it.
Naya. Minister.
Oh, wait. That Monday, yes. After that Monday, then we end with that Monday. Yes. Go on. Yes, go on.
My name is Ibrahim Tawa from IBB Law. My question they go to the committee and the US ambassador. We must go around say the $1.5 million when they give for another election.
Excuse me. You see? No, give it back. You see, I can help for the nice, but I don't let people do that because you're a journalist and you can't press comments. I don't like that. You know what you're doing and I don't like that. Next time you do that, I will withdraw you accreditation and can't press conference again. Okay? Don't do that again. Thank you. Next, please. listen there.
Emmanuel Gaima, right from the Citizen newspaper. Mr. Minister, this question is direct to you because in a previous press conference, you come out plain and make them clear to the people of Salon say, if you forget or anything, we for carry on as per the tripartite committee they look after. So it may try for say Dr.Kaifala Marah don't make say if the recommendation call for that, then obviously we expect and if the recommendation call for that, then we look towards to that. So it may try for us now is I want to follow your point. If that now misinformation to the public or what's that you source, I want to get that clear.
Thank you very much. Okay, now we can't get the answer there. Thank you for that question there. Alright, so we get first. Allow listen. This is the beauty of the process. Suleiman Jallo in question for Dr. Marah. Now about the 4 councillors that will not take their seats. He say that they mean say the people that will vote for that councillor they currently underrepresented and waiting at the constitution mean they not take their seats yet. Somebody asked for other political parties that he just met for the Emmanuel they represent NGC, just don't left. Even there, people get other political parties in the house as well. He asked that they think we don't address standing about the inclusion of other political parties in the statement. With that question, they cannot again. Somebody decided to ask this question of rerun versus no rerun again, reform versus rerun. You say, the political scientists asked, so I'll give you another chance again. I think the point of this one, I will say, not be honest, not be transparent, not come on at least with some clarity for the people of Salome. And it's very important that we guide how they come on here. Because if you set trap for real, we make things, we push the can down the road. And we handle that. So I will give you another chance for answer. And then Khadija say on the question of the legality by which you demand ECSL for give you data. He from the chairman say you will get for go basically force or get a court order. He say if you faced with that situation, they whether you willing to do that. And then my brother from the New Citizen Tolombo newspaper say whether me who's the source of the information and whether I'm misinformed the public. Your question at the left hand, I want to let it know. Because I didn't with you. Who now for go first? I think Dr. Gaima for go first. Dr. Gaima, you go.
On the issue of the councillors, all I can say at this point, I need to reach out again to the Minister of Local Government. But the information I got the last time was that at the time we have been swearing the others, some of them were not absent, and then the minister had been busy and they were required. But I also understand, say, I'm not sure that they acted, that he has the authority to delegate for that to be done by a chief administrator. I just want to talk, say, Mr. Minister, I look for follow-up on that one. The last time Dr. Marah discussed but the minister was away, so I'm not going to follow up with her. Dr. Marah mentioned, say, some of the resolutions that he suffered. Yes, he mentioned in my presentation, say, this committee has no responsibility with the rest of the other 7 resolutions. But between the two of us, we will not different way how we will do that, to the extent that we don't even suggest, say, we will talk to the principals, and who are these principals? Dr. Seraphine Wakana, and then the Chief Minister, they will send there for see if they will get some conversation. But to move that further, from our side in the office of the President, who side are the support the President, Vice President, and Chief Minister, we actually go ahead and prepare some metrics for track. All discuss which we brother and sister in our APC, and they were kind enough to accept. So let the tracker, when you try to look at those issues. So, for example, we don't inaugurate the one on the inter-party dialogue, where to the extent PPRs don't facilitate, then sort of draft TOR. I think they don't decide for work on schedule of meetings. What will not clear it, I stop them and say they need to come to Dr.Kaifala Marah and they will send them for see who that will be the convener, whether at PPRs or not, because we had agreed that in the spirit of the agreement, we not for the take quote unquote unilateral decision. So but that's one they move on. Quite a few of them move on. The one on the issue about political prisoners and the one that we had politically motivated cases, yes, I must confess, say, the APC did not submit a list. I know for sure, say, the list should have been submitted to the Office of the Attorney General. This is the point. Because some of those people, they were alleged to have committed some crime. The understanding is, what is the seriousness of such crimes that can be politically waived? There are some crimes, according to the legal experts, I'm a layman in law, there are some crimes where political settlement will resolve, depending on what comes from the other party who is affected. So that's to go through a system of process. But again, yes, I will agree, say the list has been submitted, but probably the action expected is yet to be undertaken. I will agree on that one. The effort to reach to other political parties, I mentioned, I say, the other political parties, they don't actually write formally for saying, hey, when I do electoral review and electoral management bodies review, who serve the political party there? The same product will come up from that recommendation. We serve again for affect we, but now we're not left free out. Technically, this is just one political party. Because I sit here on behalf of government. You could just say government and APC, the SND, but the chairman of the party is I know that by this arrangement, I have no obligation with respect for confer with her because I'm represented as government. So 16 other political parties are still calling. That is a very valid view, but we hope say through the inter-party dialogue between Dr. Kaifala Marah and David Sende, so then they will find an avenue how they will. Well, the last time they did for inaugurate inter-party dialogue, they suggest say so tell them better use the support we. But since we don't forget public outreach and public engagement, so tell we reach consensus for engagement. There is also the question here. Well, thank you very much. Since you say that you talk and say I teach you, and I teach you, prove me wrong. I've always said for me that in governance, you stand at the center, you go by the principles, you crucify the sentiments. The Constitution in any serious democracy, the Constitution is near sacred and sacrosanct. Near sacred and sacrosanct. So you know the subsumer shortcut for anything. That is my position for me. But the recommendation will be going to His Excellency the President, not to me as governance advisor. And the final point here, particular one, the order for me, brother Dr. Kaifala.
Thank you so much, Mr. Jallo.
You know, waiting wrong na go na simple thing and not supposed to happen. ECSL submit the wrong list. Now we APC get to list according to the number, not to say they go, the PR system. The one that will be no say 90s. ECSL say, na this. Hey, boy, I see that. You know, enough I know so. Well, don't they find this from October who signed this agreement till now? They don't do that. That was why we write with the access in the tracker. This is a simple thing. ECSL, whoever responsible for this, make you take the APC list and administer oath. You know, they're in government, what do they do so? Whether they're in government or they're in opposition, now people that they serve. They go, they don't elect somebody from June 30. This is not February. Una no go, can I go na council make it go doing work? Simple thing. If for lift Arata so difficult, where they are young car now, how you will total? It's a simple thing. So the
make ECSL clear this doubt. The list when the Secretary General don't submit to them. Before the end of the week, with the big, let them take and go administer or let council them begin work. It's simple as that. And for the agreement to say another within the mandate. But Mr. Moderator, allow me to say this. We don't develop tracker. You know, anybody who work in a state house as chief minister or chief of staff, you don't say a tracker you operate. We get tracker. We APC don't say the implementation of all the agreement there, we will upload them na Google Drive. So government no more go to report, we go to do simultaneous reporting. So we update to your side, then self-update on your side. It's very easy for me to implement the resolutions there. SEF would also say, make we nominate like two people for prisoners and politically motivated cases. And the other resolutions then, we get people that will go to meet regularly, we get timelines so that they report. And so you deliver. But no editor. So that's the problem that also I will say to General right. Make we do this. So they ask that the council of the year, if we will settle on this week, they go fine. Even for commission with moral guarantors, that's also supposed to do by now. The inter-party dialogue is very important, but fundamental issues then we all hear about constitutional reform. Not so? If I by now make you know what in the inside the Kotoku, what would the reform like that constitution? What you want for tweak? If you see how they smelling, I'm not sure who's put out. So like we know that rule. Now we know what it's there for. Now that makes the inter-party dialogue very important. So they make you implement the resolutions there. So that by the time the tripartite committee on the camp, we don't go far. Okay, political parties and complain. You see why we person the make law again for be careful? This PR system, now they begin ask yourself, committee member now begin think. You get how many political parties? 17. Now 2 no more. Do well. You think that PR system is right? No independent. Oh, now wait. No independent candidates, no win. So now some of the questions they are for begin ask. So you know they say the other political parties, we all are the same. But I just raise this, make we begin see some of the pitfalls of some of the laws that have been done in the past. We will find for people to review them. So it will be accommodating and it will be inclusive in the political representation. So democracy will be wholesome. In that regard, we they say not only inside the inter-party dialogue they take place, but when this process starts, we get for open up, we get for bring on board people, we will become observers, and we will also play the new role. So make political parties then take out and make them know say themselves are part of the process as they go forward. Rerun. No rerun. At the time that answer to what my sister asked about court order and House Appropriation in 1991 Constitution. You know, Lord, then me not a lawyer than they are. They say not left the law that bureaucrats their hand. Law is very important for the survival of the state. If I make politicians they handle and sometimes politically. Why would they have? Would they have because something go wrong? Mr. President decided to form that committee for take a look at elections simply because he knows something go wrong, not so. And that thing will go wrong. We won't know. It was they tell we say true now. Don't tell we say true. Don't tell we say true. 2 million people or more. We hold on to that data, I say they release her. If you're not supposed to put it clear, why for worry? So when they say, and I go over this, I don't want to respond to this again. I want to listen to me clearly. This is on behalf of the team. We are simple questions as we go by voting will mandate say for examine 2023 electoral process. Not so. If we examine that one day, me and una know for say elections result na core part of our and now they now mandate. Modi, bring the team, no examine them. They will make recommendations. Not so, no sweat. What I will refuse for make somebody do, now for make Kaifala Marah and the team, and by the way, I want to know say the team is a very strong team. I therefore choose me what? Because anytime they say men and therefore they're on the same page. We do work professionally. They say every step is one step leading to a destination. We don't get the terms of reference. We don't agree, say, we get for examine results. Not just 2023, we get for look at 2018 and others. Not so, that's just how far fall back. But let the results come up, put and no look at. I'm not going to say, and it's very important, I'm not going to say, okay, make us say this. If you take a look at the Public Elections Act, I'm not for going into law. I think now sections 52 and 93 clearly state voting for two. That is not a constitutional business in the day. Law go by that law. People answer for law do this thing. You know why they say this? Are they crave on indulgence? Make we done with this thing within the next 4 to 5 months. Law done with that. We're in a very bad shape as a country. The economy not do well. This particular thing they continue to cast long shadows over with political future as well as with economic future. Look down with this, make investors then get confidence for CAP. So we know say we get a mandate, and one of the resolutions say recommendations shall be actionable and implementable. So let them put it in the layer. According to international best practice, they get for producer. Now say they happen all over the world today. In fact, today, Access to Information Act, not so, people, Access to Information Act, you can still pull out. So plenty laws and they don't know how to be one thing.
I really hate to do this. I'm going to ask you to
1 minute. 1 minute.
Yeah, summarize.
1 minute. So, madam, to you, we get plenty avenues. The law, the PPA Act today, Section 52 and 93. We get Access to Information Act. We get plenty things there, including international best practice, including a commitment when the CSL will not make under one of the recommendations of the EU for certain will publish. So I know I make this press conference immediately come out a cash shadow over the work of this committee. Right. No, not do that. So make we find ways and means. Make we take a look at it here. We'll try to go forward to recommendations. And we'll check the electoral feature and fix and find for ourselves. Let it come on there. Me at the big, then let them plan. And Lord, then let
I want to thank all for the questions and the answers. I want to respond to that board I've been promised to respond to her. I want to say a few things. One, I don't maintain say as Minister of Information, before I talk, I carefully choose my words and I check with both the law and the authorities. And I say now again, categorically, as far as I know, categorically, nothing only in the understanding of the law and the advice they don't receive, we suggest that this committee get the power for doing a run or for mandating a run of an election. That's my understanding. And as Minister of Information, if you ask me that question, that's what I will tell you. That's my position. The reason we're there now because we want to give a chance as a committee for explaining them and for talking about in terms of health. So I'm for sure the boss will talk say the commitment is clear. And also we have a political leader they with the social media willing for tweets with the talk plenty. Me no the lie. There are many people who are part of the old school politics of Salone since we talk through. Every opportunity they get, they are happy for go write on social media because they will get like and get followers. I don't do that. I stick to the facts as I understand the facts. And that's what I say, and Yusuf knows and I stick to throughout. I also want to encourage that we will not litigate other issues that we know before we are, for example. And then we focus on how we bring this cutting down for waiting to be an excellent event. Before we go, I think we will call 1 minute each. 1 minute, and this time I got timer. And I did ask you for say something in the spirit of waiting when I say earlier. This committee, the request we Madam Seraphine asked for do, now for also do things for bring down the tension. In the course of when we talk, this is not a political leaders. We don't say things that we don't add to ease the tension up. You have done that here. And a real responsibility as Sierra Leoneans for continue to manage a complex situation and bring the tension down. So as we close, we ask of now for say things to the people of Salone. We will speak to peace, to national cohesion, and to the future of the democracy. I will start with, Madam, I'm asking you to say 1 minute of final words to reaffirm the principles and the values that we shared earlier, which when you requested a call on them to continue to bring the temperature down and to seek peace and national cohesion. So I just want you final words after everything you've had, and then I'll give them a chance a minute each. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and happy to see it's already done through the press conference, but even that we can feel the tension that everybody was able to handle. So I wanted to thank everybody for participating, and I will again commend the committee for the work well done, but we will keep it on track. But also I wanted to commend choosing transparency. We are going to be transparent throughout the process, and for us as international partners, I wanted again to commit ourselves to support the implementation of the TORs. Having said this, I wanted to express that this is again a nationally owned process. We will be there to support, but we are not replacing the committee. We will bring expertise to support the work of the committee, to keep the international standards and make sure that the changes that you are looking for will bring peace and unity in Sierra Leone.
Thank you very much. Dr. Marah, your final words, 1 minute.
Yeah, me want to tell every Sierra Leonean, make we calm down and wait, like I don't say, make the process evolve out with this. And I talk to the bloggers that we can grab no more than right or say anything, make them stop. You know, if we stop for talk about rerun and no rerun, we focus on the work we get. Small, then say take 10 and take 10 kill and at the end of the day, we will arrive at something where we will make one move forward. I'm sure outside of this room, if people understand our message and go by the advice we provide now for say, make we wait and allow the committee for doing work, make we patience, we will take one along, we will try to be transparent, I'm sure they will find. So I want to tell government thank you on behalf of the party, the leadership of the party, for the steps we don't take so far for implement the agreement. The cup, it will either be half full or half empty. Who they take and say half full. They'll continue for encourage brothers and sisters on the other side for collaborating to drive one more forward. And finally, I want to tell Mr. President thank you as co-chair for the commitment we don't make for support the operations of this committee. And I want the leadership know this, make the party member then know for say we will serve on this committee, now sacrifice we want to sacrifice all along. We don't ask nobody for anything. We do this for God and country. We'll continue in that spirit. So my brother, tell Mr. President, thank you for his support. Then make the party self know, say, me and my colleague them, now so going to do. And I want to tell my committee members, and thank you. If not for our support, I know we're there this evening. If not for our support and guidance, and all the tough things on I don't work on over there. So thank you. So Dr. Marah and the team. Make everybody know that. Thank you so very much, my brothers and sisters.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, Dr. Marah. And finally, Dr. Gaima.
So we all know in family, I want to we begin talk with me. We send a one salon. We talk as in one salon. We say salon now we own. We say we want to go to a place but salon. So we appeal now for law we take that let be a slogan now. Let us stop this country. Let we not make with different system make we destroy the one country we get. I did in a political role, but I'm not a politician like my brother Dr. Marah. And so politicians, there are several options. We, the non-politicians, but technical people, when they do political role, we get fewer options. And we boku. We are not a politician, we boku. So I want, let me put the country first, and let me make some move. Let me put the country over and above the political party. In my lifetime, I don't see people that move between 2, 3, 4 political parties inside this country. But you're not going to move from salon inside salon, now one salon. So meaning therefore, salon bigger than political parties. We have people when the political party don't want, then they go those side. They say they're not interested, but you have to continue to be interested in Sierra Leone because you are doing so far, you will suffer. Dr. Marah mentioned the economy. The economy depressed. I never depressed. Tomorrow morning, we work, we sell the open shop. Tomorrow morning, we work, we sell the common do. Tomorrow, we sell the car. If you don't work money, clean money, find money, they're going to bring cola. You go find money, you go bring find money, someone can work on do.
Dog.
So do you allow to do that? We find out what is we mandate in end states to say the end. Now a report with recommendations will be presented to His Excellency President. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. On that note, I want to say, yes, round of applause for everybody. To the development partners, I see the US ambassadors, the UK ambassador there, other embassies, they are heads of UN agencies, UNDP rep, political party leadership, they're there, Mr. Jesman Fudesuma, announced just now, you know, in the room. I want to say thanks to all. On our presence here alone mean a lot to both this process and this outcome. We can feel the beauty and the challenge of Salon in this room. It's the beauty that Salon is. That's me uncle there on the other side, my brother there and sister there on the other side. Come at this room with all this tension. We feel a tension, but we also feel a contest is safer. We are the two co-chairs and come together. And the promise of a democracy and the promise of a country. That we will find a way for make that tension in there, fear we follow make this country better. So now that they are all close with. I have to tell plenty taking into the committee for the privilege we follow partner for come with this press conference. Thanks to members of the 4th Estate for now work we do for the critical needed questions that we continue for us. to the supporters of both the APC and the SLPP. Now we all get this country. We say we have plenty. Thank you for all that come and for all that support this process. Next week, Minister of Information and Civic Education will continue with the usual weekly press conference. I want to say again, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much.